Welcome to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with intuitive lightworker, national speaker, metaphysical teacher, and best-selling author Lisa Kessler. What is it you want to manifest? Are you looking to increase your income, change careers? Maybe you want to manifest a new home or a new car. Are you ready to bring love into your life? You have come to the right place.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm always looking for ways to enhance manifesting, and today I have a Reiki Master on. Did you know you can use Reiki to facilitate manifesting? I'm here to tell you that you can. Francie Soito is here today. She is a Reiki Master, a psychic medium, a psychic detective. I'm going to try really hard to stay on point with manifesting. And she's also an empath, and she is a healing facilitator. So I'm really excited that she agreed to come on. We met through writing, but when I realized she does all these other things and she told me we can use Reiki to manifest, I was so excited. So thank you so much for being here, Francie. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I am super excited to talk to you today.
Yes, I can't wait. We get to talk woo-woo things today.
Woo-hoo for the woo-woo.
Right? So for people who aren't familiar, can you kind of tell us what is Reiki?
Sure, yeah. So Reiki, the kind of quick version of it is it's like acupuncture without needles. And people kind of get that sense. So it's this way of like getting your energy to flow naturally like it's supposed to, so that you can heal. So the way that I describe it to my clients is I say that Reiki is both a philosophy as well as a practice. The philosophy being if energy is moving through your body like it's supposed to, then the body is better able to heal itself more naturally. Anytime we have stress or trauma, whether that's from physical pain or mental or emotional pain, that can cause blocks and prevent the energy from flowing the way it's supposed to. So what happens during a Reiki session is a Reiki practitioner will channel. It's the pure energy in all living things. It's not the practitioner's energy. And it's smart enough to know where those blocks are. And it goes through and pushes them out, as well as kind of fills up the gas tanks wherever you're low in energy. A lot of my clients feel the sense of peace, relief. There's a lot of healing that takes place. There's a lot of guidance and insight that takes place. And Reiki can really be miraculous if you allow it to kind of do its work within you.
I love that. And what I pulled out of that was the blocks. I just did a podcast on blocks and mental blocks and your subconscious. And I'm always telling everyone about when you're manifesting, it's really important to keep your vibration up. Right. And you were talking about, all this energy going through you. Can that really help with keeping your vibration, no blocks in your chakras, so your vibration can stay up? Does that work with Reiki also?
100%. Yeah. And as far as like manifestation goes, it helps to figure out what might be blocking your manifestation. Right. And so like if you've got some issue with money, who doesn't? we all have issues, good, bad, and different with money. And some of that stuff might be ancestral. Some of it might be past life stuff or stuff that you were born into poverty. You don't believe that you deserve wealth, or you see people with wealth as evil or negative, have a negative connotation. So, it's also uncovering what kind of low frequency energy we might have around an issue that might be preventing us from manifesting what we want in our lives. So the Reiki can absolutely help with that.
I love that. And recently, it was funny you were talking about money, because I always tell everyone we're all a work in progress. Some days I'm super good and other days I'm like, wow.
Same.
Everyone's a work in progress. Yeah. But I realized recently that something that has been stressing me out was actually, and it took me a while to like dig down to where is this coming from? And it comes from, I'm one of those people who is like a guilt magnet. If I can feel guilty about something, I do. And I realized, why am I feeling guilty about this? This is not my it's not my thing. And then I was able to release it. And so if Reiki can help you, figure those things out, because sometimes, like for me with this one, it was very difficult for me to figure out, why am I so stressed about this? And when I finally figured out it's that guilt button, I was able to go, this isn't even my problem. Why am I feeling guilty about this? So when you're doing Reiki as the Reiki master, do you find the blocks or do the people find the blocks?
Ooh, such a great question. We do it together. And so what I always tell my clients is they have half of the puzzle piece. I have the other half. And so whatever they sense and feel during a session, combined with what I sense and feel during the session, gives you the kind of complete picture of what's going on. So I actually might feel something. And so the chakras are different energy centers. So, and I focus on, the major 7 chakras when I'm doing my Reiki session to see what's going on with the person. So they might feel something in their third eye chakra, which is in their forehead area, which is in their insight, their ability to see things more clearly. But I might feel it in their solar plexus, which is in their stomach and lower back. Not one is, wrong or right. They're both correct. And so by having them be a part of that experience enriches it for them, but also makes it feel more tangible for them, what they can articulate. Oh, I feel something, because all it is a very gentle laying on of hands. And these days, I do a lot of my clients remotely. I'm not even in the same room with them.
Right.
So to get them to actually sense something physically while they're having a remote Reiki session is pretty powerful. And then explaining to them what that means is very empowering for them, because they can then, again, take ownership of their issues, understand it more clearly, and also see that connection that the mind and the body has, and how that may be, helping them or hurting them as far as their health or their manifestation abilities, their relationship, their career, whatever it is that they came to see me for in the first place.
Wow. And so how can we use Reiki when we're manifesting? So I understand that Reiki has, symbols and things like that. If somebody is learning Reiki, can they push that energy toward their goal?
Yes. So, and to answer the question you had earlier, when you receive a Reiki session, it does help to raise your vibration, which then helps you to be in a more flow for manifestation, right? So the lower frequencies of guilt, anger, not enough, lack of self-confidence, all of those lower frequency energies really prevent or block your manifestation. So having a Reiki session fully done clears up each of your major chakras, thereby raising your vibration, making your flow easier. So that's one. As a student, when you learn Reiki, so there's 3 levels of Reiki. There's Reiki 1, there's Reiki 2, and there's Reiki 3 mastership. And I teach them all separately. At the Reiki 2 level, you learn specific symbols, which are kind of like specific kind of tools that you use to hone in on the frequency of Reiki that you're looking for. The 3 symbols help you with mental and emotional release, as well as being able to send Reiki across time and space. So with my Reiki 2 students, we spent a lot of time talking about how we can use those symbols to manifest what we want for ourselves and to help remove any blocks we may have. So in the Reiki 2 class, what we talk about is how we can create either vision boards, which I'm sure you've talked about in your manifestation, or we can do, like, if we're looking to create a Reiki practice for ourselves, we could do like a mock calendar of how many clients we want to see in a given week. And we just plug in fictitious people, like Jane Doe has a Reiki session booked with me at 3:00 on Monday, John Doe Friday at 1:00. So we fill out our calendar. So whatever it is that we want to manifest, whether it's, vision board or a calendar of Reiki clients or healing or whatever it is, we can then draw the symbols physically, if it's a piece of paper or something like that, physically on the board. And we can turn our Reiki hands on with those symbols. And we can take that piece of paper or that vision board or whatever it is and put it in between our hands and send that Reiki and have the intention of removing any blocks that might be preventing that manifestation. And the nice thing about Reiki is it's so easy. Anybody can learn it. You don't have to be like super spiritual or psychic or have a specific belief system, and it's not tied to any religion. So it's open to anyone. And because we are channeling Reiki, we are not, the practitioner itself, we don't have to force or push anything. It's just literally like turning on a water faucet and the water flows that easily. And then we just turn it off. Super easy.
I love that.
And so when we're sitting there, with our Reiki hands turned on, channeling Reiki to what we want to have manifest, I'm watching TV, I'm talking to my husband, like I'm doing other things. It's not something that requires like a ton of concentrated focus.
Right.
I just turn the Reiki hands on and then just let it flow. And then I go about, doing whatever else I'm doing.
I love that. And I'm always telling people about that really that law of attraction, the universe doesn't see energy as positive or negative. It just sees energy. So whatever's going out there, it's seeing that and going, okay. And like attracts like, so like a magnet, it sends more in. So if you are pumping energy at that calendar, the universe is going to pump just as much or more energy back about that. And all times I blew my mastermind's mind the other night because I was like, okay, all times are now and future you already has this. That's why you want it. That's why you feel this empty spot, because you already have it, right? Yeah, heads explode.
Mind blown.
Right. But that's why you want it so bad, because you already have it. And so I love the idea that Reiki, you could put that energy out there, and these other people who haven't shown up on your calendar probably have already worked with you and they're looking for you too. Yeah. So that I like that.
And it really does work, So when I first started my practice in 2009, Reiki wasn't very well known. I came from a scientific background and I was like, this woo-woo stuff, I don't know how I'm going to sell it, how to market it. And so I did that calendar exercise, not knowing really anybody. And within 3-4 months, that calendar was true. Wow. I got people from all walks of life finding me from all kinds of various ways, and then word of mouth spread. And so within a very short amount of time, all of that came true. I also have my vision board. So the law of attraction and the movie The Secret do great at explaining it. But they, in my opinion, they fall a little bit short in the putting it into action, the practicality of it. I like to use the phrase law of resonance instead of law of attraction, because when you think of resonance, you think of hopefully a vibration. You need to be a vibrational match to what you already want.
Right. And
it's not the pile of money, right? It's not the object, it's the feeling and the emotion behind it that we need to get into, right? And so I ask my clients, like I do psychic readings as well, and a lot of it's about, wealth and career, and when's it going to get easy?
When's he coming back? Yes.
Right.
My tarot, yep, same thing.
That's right. And so I asked them, it's not, you don't want money. What you want, that's just an object. You want what it brings. So we quiz each other on, what emotion is it that money, if you had all the money in the world, how would you feel? Things like freedom, lighter, relaxed. I could be more creative. I could, take a deep breath. I wouldn't have to, work at a job that I hate, all the things that, money brings. Like, okay, great. So if you want freedom, as an example, where in your life do you feel free now?
Right.
And it can be something as small as the freedom to choose the clothes that you want to wear in the morning, the freedom to choose what kind of, lunch or dinner you want to eat for that day, the freedom to take a walk if you like. And so in those moments in your life where you already feel freedom, be conscious of those feelings of, I feel free to do this now, and how wonderful that is. And hang on to and kind of vibrate within that frequency of freedom as often as is and as long as you can. And then you will get more things to feel free about. And that will also give you that attraction of, or the law of resonance of money coming towards you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm always telling, because tarot is my background, I always try to get someone to make the goal touch all four elements. It should affect your mental health. It should affect your physical, material life, which could be the money part. It should affect your emotions. How do you feel? And then it should affect your actions. What will you do when you have this thing? And that kind of ties into that vision board the vision board. You can put up pictures of, this is what I would do when I have all this money,
Right.
and things like that. With Reiki, and like, let's say a vision board, can you push the Reiki to different, things on your vision board? How does that work?
Yeah. So one thing, we don't push Reiki.
Okay.
Reiki just flows. And another
Okay.
thing about Reiki that folks don't quite grasp unless you kind of take the class, because it's a little bit more detailed. Reiki has like its own intellect, like it's got its own higher frequency divinity that works with your higher self. And so, and it always respects a person's free will. So whatever like your higher self is like ready to heal, release, move forward with, then the Reiki will help with that. And so when we're doing a vision board, what I tell my clients is, while you're sending Reiki to the things on your vision board, feel like all of those things have come to you.
Right.
Feel as if the car, you're already sitting in the car. Feel as if that you've got the keys to that brand new house. Feel as if your health is as optimal as it can be. And when you're flowing Reiki through, and you're, having that intention, and Reiki's flowing through you as you're doing this, right? It's actually healing any blocks that might be preventing you from reaching that goal. But also helping you become more in resonance with that goal. So think of Reiki, within the context of the vision board, as being an extra battery, like a supercharged battery for the things that you want to have manifested in your life.
Okay. I love that. That brought me to thinking about divine timing, because I always have to remind people the only way that you will not manifest everything you've ever wanted is to stop trying. Because the thing is, divine timing is always out there for your highest good. And we don't know when divine timing is. And that makes it frustrating. And so, like, you and I are both published authors. So you go through so much rejection. And there are plenty of times where you're like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this wasn't what I was meant to do. But timing, the divine timing is everything. So you can't give up, because if you keep putting that energy out there, it's going to happen. There's no way it can't happen, right?
Yeah. And I've got a really good story about that. So my husband and I have been married 26 years. We got married on the cliffs of the Pacific Ocean in Santa Cruz in California.
Oh, beautiful.
It's gorgeous. So and we've always loved the beach, always fantasized about living near the Pacific coast. We had our businesses, everything was in kind of Silicon Valley, so a little bit more east, not too far from the ocean, but definitely not like walking distance. It was a good hour drive or whatever. So when we'd go on our walks together, we would just daydream, and we daydream about having a house on the beach that was 2-story and 3 garages, 3-car garage, and it would have a guest bedroom and, place for a spa, all the things. And we would just have fun daydreaming about a house on the beach. Well, 26 years later, I live in a home that's identical to what we talked about.
Wow.
About 4 blocks from the Pacific Ocean. We are not made of money. We came from very humble backgrounds, both of us. We're not millionaires, but this house came miraculously, and it is completely paid off.
Oh my gosh! Anything. In California.
In California. I know.
Wow.
I know. And it is because of this manifestation ability. And, you know, I've got several stories like that. You know, we're debt free, we're healthy, we're in a loving relationship. It hasn't always been that way, but we've been diligent in focusing more on what we want and not in what we don't have, or the lack, or the glass half empty. It's focusing on the, you know, maintaining that level of gratitude for, you know, the things that are working in your life, and saying to the universe, can I have more of this, please?
Yes, I love that. Yeah. And so basically, when divine timing isn't quite right, you maybe aren't manifesting the big dream, like let's say the publishing contract, because keep in mind that everyone has free will.
Yep.
And so you've got to find the right publisher, the right editor, the right, you know, so things like that take time, because the universe has to line it all up. But if you had stopped sending out those proposals, those letters, if you had stopped, then yes, you don't get it. But if you keep going, the universe is just like, I know you're a published author. I know you are. We just have to find just the right person. And because everybody else has free will too, that's always why whenever I'm doing a tarot reading for somebody who is a jokester, or someone who is maybe a little bit cynical about the whole thing, they always want to know, what are the winning lottery numbers?
Of course.
But the thing is, and I talk about this sometimes on this podcast too, about trying to force your manifesting on other people. Everyone comes here to learn certain lessons, and everyone comes with their own path, and they're not the same as yours. So if you can think about what would happen if you did win the lottery, and how many people in your life would you give money and pull them off their path? And, you know, and everybody wants to win the lottery. So you've got all these free wills. And I mean, it's impossible. And even if I had the lottery numbers this second, 5 minutes later, somebody else's free will has changed it, and now it's wrong. So, but divine timing is always for your highest good.
Right.
So if you can hang on and keep your faith, it will come to pass at exactly the right time. And then you'll go, oh, this is why, you know, and I feel like maybe Reiki can help, you know, buoy your keep your vibration up, so you don't get, you know, can it help you to keep in the fight and not give up?
Yeah, 100%. And what you said is absolutely right with divine timing. And we might not just be ready. Like we might not have grown enough in our spiritual self or mental health self, emotional self, to appreciate the things yet. Or we might still have blocks about it. So there's a lot of different reasons why, like for you know, my example, it took 26 years for us to get this beautiful home. There's a reason for it. If it came right away, we wouldn't have been ready to receive all the different other blessings that came with it. Right. But you're absolutely right. So the Reiki can help. I like that word buoy, but I also use like a word of focus, helping you to really focus in and be clear about what you want. Because a lot of my clients, what they struggle with, the reason why the timing is wonky is because they keep changing their mind about what they want. They're not clear.
True.
And so the Reiki can help them really clarify, you know, what is it that you want? Is it money, or is it freedom, or is it abundance? And what does that look like? Like, let's get deeper into that and deeper into that. And so the Reiki can help and uncover really what it is that you want, uncover what might be blocking that, some childhood stuff, some current stuff, some anger issues, some low frequency stuff. And also, you know, with the addition of the symbols, it really does give you more focus, and it makes it feel like you're doing something active towards having that manifestation come quicker.
I love that. I have, I could talk to you about this all day, but I'm going to try and wrap us up. But I had one other thing that I wanted to ask about. So sometimes I meet clients who tell me this is what I want to manifest, but then as we start down the path, it starts to become abundantly clear. And I think a lot of times with women in particular, we want to please people. We are nurturers at heart, and we want to see people happy. And sometimes people point us towards something because they want that for us. Mm-hmm. And so we are going after a goal that really isn't ours. I mean, we feel like people are expecting this of us. And so we, go after this thing. And so can Reiki, because you said it has its own intelligence, can we get a feeling from that? Maybe sometimes we're chasing something that maybe isn't for us.
100%. Yeah. It can really help. The simplest way I can explain it is it's like it lifts the veil of our true self. Like we have our human persona, mm-hmm. and we've got our spiritual divine self, right? Which is our infinite self, our wise self, who knows what lessons we're supposed to learn here in this lifetime, who knows what we need to do, what our block, all the things, right?
The one that signed that contract, dang it.
Right? I know. We're going to have words. But what the Reiki can do is make that veil thinner. And so you, the human, can get closer in touch with you, the spirit. And when you're in touch with the spirit, so many things become clear, right? Okay. You can kind of put the ego in the background a little bit and have more of your true selves to come forward. And the Reiki can help you identify, oh, that's my human issue that I'm struggling with. That's mm-hmm. my ego, right, versus this is my larger spiritual plan.
Oh, okay, good. Well, that would be very helpful, I would think, because sometimes when you keep hitting a wall and you feel like you want to give up, sometimes it's because that really wasn't your wall. Your parents really, really want you to be a lawyer, just like they were a lawyer. And right. You just keep going to law school and you keep failing that bar exam. And because maybe deep down, that's their goal for you. Right. That's their manifestation for you. That's how they think you'll be most secure. But the reality is deep down, you want to be, X instead. And so manifesting a law degree is really not what your higher self wants. So if Reiki can help you determine that, that would be huge. That would be a big help.
Yeah. And not only, deciding, helping you to discern what's my needs, what somebody else's needs put upon me, but we right. can also cut cords. So what's interesting about, energy and how we have relationships with each other is we can develop cords of attachments to ideas or to our past or to our ancestors or to our parents that are sometimes unhealthy. And so in that example right there, if you were a client that came to me and said, I'm supposed to be a lawyer, I'm not really sure if that's my goal, but that's what my parents want me to do.
I need to pass the bar.
Right. So we'll go through and cut any energetic cords of attachment to this law degree that's not yours, that's not healthy, something that's from a past life that you don't need to bring forward in this life, something that's ancestral. I do this a lot with, as another example, people that have this sense of being in ancestral poverty. Mm-hmm. So we will cut cords. Reiki can help us hone in on that and cut cords to, again, the sense of being impoverished as parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, cutting, even if you've had a past life where you gave like a vow of poverty or chastity, we can mm-hmm. cut those cords. You're not bringing that into your current life either. So the Reiki can not only help you, manifest, focus on what you want, but also free you from any of those, old energetic baggages that you might be carrying that, you don't even know about.
Right. And help you manifest things that your true higher self wants for you.
That's right.
Is big. So, well, I'm very excited about all of these things that you can do with Reiki. I had no idea that you could use. I've always heard of Reiki for healing, and I've gotten Reiki treatments before. After I lost my mom, I had a friend who was a Reiki master who was so kind to give me a Reiki session to release grief. And it was hugely healing and wonderful. So I encourage anyone who's listening, if you've never tried Reiki, go get a Reiki session from a real Reiki master. And it really is amazing, and you'll feel so much better. But with all of these tools you can use for your manifesting, maybe you want to take Reiki classes and, learn how to channel this power that you already have. You just, need to open up to figure out how to maneuver that. And you teach those, right?
That's right. Yeah. I teach all 3 levels of Reiki.
Okay. I'm going to put in the show notes, I'll put a link down there so you guys can click it anytime to go check out Francie's Reiki classes. I think they're all taught over Zoom. So you could be anywhere in the world and get all charged up to be a Reiki master and take your manifesting up to the next level. Thank you so much for being here. This was fascinating. Could have talked about it all day. But thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it was a great time. I could totally talk your ear off. So thank you.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go. And thanks so much for listening today, you guys. I hope that you got a lot of ideas and that your head is spinning with all of the manifesting possibilities. I'm sending everyone many blessings. Thanks so much for listening. And you can have the life of your dreams. Go get it.
Thanks for listening to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with Lisa Kessler. If you have questions or comments, or if you'd like to work with Lisa to manifest your dreams, you can connect with her through her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net. That's also where you can claim your free weekly tarot reading and manifesting tips. Make sure you subscribe or follow the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast on your favorite podcasting site so you never miss another episode. As Lisa likes to say, we can make magic when we bring the universe into the equation. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. If you'd like more information about Lisa, Metaphysical Manifestation Mentorship, or the Manifesting Magic Mastermind, visit her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net.